Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to our coffee times to talk about horror and books. And today I'm here to tell you my reading plans for the month of September.
It's coffee time.
September is going to be a weird month for me because I am taking some holidays. I will be in Spain for around 10 days. So in those days, I am expecting to read a lot less because I'm going to be busy with life. And so I have tried to be kind to myself and to just have a small TBR pile. And the majority of these books are going to be books that I have on my Kindle so that when I go on holidays, I can still try to make as much progress as possible having my Kindle with me. In the past, I used to travel with my Kindle plus physical books, but then I realized very quickly that the Kindle is enough when I go on holidays because I don't need to be carrying extra baggage to visit my parents, knowing very well that I'm going to come with 2 or 3 times more of the luggage that I took to go there in the first place. So now I mostly travel with my Kindle alone, and that is enough. Plus now I have BookBeats, so I can also listen to audiobooks when I'm in Spain, which is going to be very convenient for me. And I am really excited about the trip, but also I have been a little bit, stressed because I've been preparing videos so that there's always some content on the channel while I'm gone. And today I'm gonna let you know the books that I'm planning to read during the month of September. I don't know exactly if I'm gonna get to all of these because when I go on holidays, there's always the risk that I don't get to all of the titles, but I'm gonna try my best. The first one I'm gonna read for sure because this is the book pick for my Evil Book Club that I host over at my Patreon, and that is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. And this is going to be my second book by the author after reading The Return, and I have been dying to try more books by her. I am really also anticipating So Thirsty, that's coming out in September and that I have pre-ordered, so who knows, if it comes on time, I might even squeeze that in and read 2 books by the author the same month. Vesper grew in a very religious community, and I'm smelling cult here, sheep, all of that. And she's probably considered the black sheep because she decided to leave that community, that religious community, and kind of distance herself from her family. She left her family when she was 18, but now she has received an envelope with a letter, an invitation to her cousin's wedding, and she always has such a good relationship with her cousin that she decides to go to the wedding and reunite with her family that she deserted when she was 18 and probably they don't really love her much anymore. I'm really excited about this one. This is one of the only ones that I'm gonna be reading in physical form, and I love to read these books every month and then discuss them with the Patreons because we go into detail on, what we loved about it, the plot, the horror, the twist, and all of that good stuff. And I love when I can dissect a book a little bit and speak a little bit more in detail about it apart from doing my monthly review. So I'm really excited that this is the book that we picked for September. The next book I want to read is Last Seen Online by Lauren James, and this is a book that I am dying to read. This is a YA mystery thriller and it has mixed media. Alice Oseman has raved about it and many other authors. Everybody's saying how good this book is and I need to know. And it's also one of the books by the authors that is going to attend YALC this year. So with these, I also accomplished reading another book for my YALC preparation. This book has, that trope of, if you try to uncover the truth, you're going to be a target, you're going to be killed. And it is kind of a critique, I think, on fandom and all of that, and conspiracy theories and all of that. I am so intrigued about this one, and it looks like a fun read because it has a lot of mixed media in it, including text and all of that. And I'm just dying to read this one. And this also probably is a good one to take with me on holidays, but I'm gonna try not to and only take my Kindle. So I'm hoping to read this one in the first 2 weeks of the month. In September, I'm finally hoping to read The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. another author that is going to be at YALC, and I've had this book on a previous TBR, but I didn't get to it, so I'm hoping now is the time. And even if I'm gonna go on holidays, and this is kind of like a chunky book, I think it's almost 400 pages for a YA book, but I do have this on audio, which is gonna be such a lifesaver, especially if I go on holidays. I might be able to listen to the audiobook if I cannot take this one with me on holidays, because it's a chunky book, but I'm really excited. I really enjoyed House of Hollow, and I am expecting this to be a very dark, immersive, atmospheric tale, but this time with, I guess, something similar to witches, or at least rituals and stuff like that. Sarah Jones decides that she's going to believe in magic because she doesn't want to live in a world where her sister is dead and there's nothing that she can do about it. So she kind of turns to the help of the occult, and she's looking for a way of bringing her sister back. And I love when people meddle with the occult and the dark forces, because there's always very, very grim consequences that they did not expect. And you know, I understand how desperate you have to be if you lost your sister and you want her back, and I cannot even fathom or imagine like the lengths you would go to try to bring them back, even if you know deep down that the occult is probably not the best route. I think this follows more than one girl. I think it follows 3 girls, and probably they have different reasons to tip into the occult, and I'm guessing they're gonna end up in trouble. Now let's go to the books that I have on my Kindle, and the first couple of books are books that I have on my NetGalley list and are books that I need to get to. The first one is called Young Blood by Sylvester Barney, and I picked this one on NetGalley because this is a vampire book, and it is the first book on a trilogy. It has really good ratings on Goodreads, and I thought it would be great to discover new vampire books, and if I love it, I can continue then with the series. New York is now a wasteland, and it is plagued by vampires, and we have a 16-year-old trying to survive. Raven is trying to survive and take care of her sister who is autistic, and she's trying to get food, you know, to secure shelter, everything that you would do in a vampire apocalypse. So in order to protect her sister, Raven even joins a military force that has been created to fight against the vampires. So I'm guessing it's going to be like an epic battle between the remaining humans and the vampires. So I'm excited to give this one a go. Booked on Murder by Alison Brooke, and this is just a simple, cozy mystery. I have 4 of these on my NetGalley, and I need to get to them. And now that fall is approaching, I feel like now it's a good time to read this type of books. And these books always have a murder mystery. Mostly at the beginning of the book, somebody's killed, and then someone that is not a detective, mostly is just a normal middle-aged woman that owns a bookstore or a bakery, something like that. They have to figure out who is the killer, and most of the times these books are cheesy and predictable, but hence the cozy mystery part of them. So I don't expect this book to blow me away, but I really enjoy reading them. They are very easy to read, comforting, and I think it's the perfect way to start September. The Butcher by Laura Cutt Young, and this is a horror mystery, and I got this one as well when it came out, and I was really excited to read it, and then I never picked it up, and I was looking through my Kindle and saw it, and I'm like, I have to read this one now. This is a suspenseful small town horror, and it is a dystopian world in which people that are punished for their crimes, for stealing, for blasphemy and all of that, if they are killed for their crimes, they are being sent to the butcher. Lady May inherits her mom's business when she is only 18. Basically, their jobs is to dismember the people that have been killed for crimes, or people that need to be executed for their crimes, and her mother refused to do so with a 6-year-old kid, and because she refused to fulfill her duties, she was murdered in front of Lady May, and now she has taken over the family business. This sounds like a very devastating piece of horror, and it sounds like it's going to be kind of gruesome and disturbing in the sense that tender as the flesh was, because we are talking here about dismembering human beings. And I'm really intrigued about this one, to be honest, and this kind of dystopian world. I'm very intrigued about this type of society, and so I hope that I get to this one this time because it's been on my TBR way too long. And last but not least, I have put on my September TBR pile a non-fiction horror book with a little bit of sci-fi, and that is Nightmare Fuel. This is The Science of Horror Films by Nina Neseth. And I think this book is not about the horror movies, and it doesn't like mention a bunch of horror movies and kind of like dissects them. It is more about what horror movies do to our psyche, to our mind, and why we are compelled to watch horror. Why, if horror makes us uncomfortable, makes our skin crawl, makes us scared, why do we come back for more? She also takes a psychological approach on why we love this type of movies, why we keep watching them and coming back for more, and why people like me, for example, are obsessed with horror and can never get enough. So I'm really excited about this one because I think it's going to be something that I'm gonna find very interesting, even if it doesn't talk so much about the movies per se, but it takes more a scientific, psychological approach. But I think it's going to be very interesting to me. And these were, you guys, the 7 books that I have planned to read during the month of September. I'm giving myself a little bit of grace, knowing that I'm gonna go on holidays and all of that. And I have a lot of content that I'm still trying to, to film and to edit and everything. So I'm trying to be kind to myself, but also if I only put 7 books on my TBR pile, it means that I can always add something if I have an extra time, for example. But at least I have 7 books that I would like to focus on. And if I finish them, I can always add something extra. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below, what are you planning to read during the month of September? Thank you guys as always so much for all your support. If you want to support me and the channel, please consider to join my Patreon. And I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye guys!